Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I told you many times, and again, I am right. I'm not happy when I'm right, especially when I predicted something or I told you something that is bad. And what is bad here is the Europeans and the forces behind the European baboons at this point won't let it go. They would not let Russia go. Therefore, they will continue arming and providing Ukraine with troops. They call them trainers and advisors and all that. I have a number of articles ready for you here. The first one is Sergei Lavrov telling the truth. The European Union is blind to what caused the Ukraine conflict. I don't think the European Union is blind. I think the European Union doesn't care. That's the first article that we're going to discuss. The second one, we find the number of countries that are willing to send troops to Ukraine. You know, in the coalition of the willing, I have here the number of them. Then there are many not. And no, they're not from any other continent but Europe. Nobody cares. All right. And we find out that the United Kingdom and other countries, in this case United Kingdom, is ready to deploy troop mission in Ukraine for 5 years to train the Ukrainians. Then we have Lavrov coming and saying, my friends, as I said many times before, don't fall for it. This is not a deployment of the troops, how did I call them, peacekeeping troops. This is a foreign intervention. That's exactly what Lavrov said, and I agree. I said it before many times. And then we find out something that, again, I said it in the past, which is the United Kingdom secretly sent military instructors to train Ukrainian forces on British weapons. I said it, and I will say it again. Not only did they send military instructors to train the Ukrainians, but I will say that the truth will come later, which is the Brits, Americans and others, the Germans, operated their own weapons inside Ukraine to strike Russia. Hold me accountable to what I said, because Ben Shapiro will be allowed to write a few books on that. All right? And not only. These things that occur now occurred in the past over and over again. That's why when I say certain things, I'm not, oh my God, I know for sure. It goes without saying. It's light outside, the sun is somewhere. The same here. I don't have to point where the sun is because there are clouds, but I know the sun is out there. It's not, why? I've seen it yesterday, the day before, and so on, at the same time as now. It must be out. All right, let's start with the first article. Let's start with this one. Russia Today, 11th of April 2025. European Union still blind to what caused Ukraine conflict. Lavrov. Washington wants to address the causes of the fighting between Moscow and Kiev, the Russian foreign minister said. And the causes are NATO troops. That's the main cause. The UK is seeking the United States, is seeking a diplomatic solution to the Ukraine conflict, in contrast to the European Union and UK. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has said, Russia has said any long-term settlement with Ukraine would only be viable if it addresses the root causes of the crisis, including Kiev's aspiration to join NATO. So this is what Lavrov said. We see that unlike Western Europe, which completely ignores the root causes of the current situation, in the United States there is a desire to get to the bottom of this issue. He said that President Trump has repeatedly said in public that drawing Ukraine into NATO, despite many years of warning from Moscow against doing so, was a mistake that probably played a decisive role in the current events. Washington also understands that a return to Ukraine's 1991 borders, which is still being demanded by Zelensky, is impossible. 100% certain and true. They will not let that happen. Regarding the NATO issue, that was the unprovoked attack of Russian forces on Ukraine. Unprovoked. All right. Not because NATO was next to these baboons. But hey, what can you do? All right, the root causes. We all know that when you have, if you want to be using logic and how should I call it, the scientific method, if you want, based, evidence-based conclusions and assessments, you have to look at the root cause. What cause? And you have to accept the valid information you get, the information that is there, you like it or not. Otherwise, you can't. The relevant information, that was the word I was looking, relevant information or actions that affected the situation. That is, if you have a broken pipe in your basement or in a house and water pours in, you're not going to go and get towels and squeegees and buckets and just take the water out and while the water comes in. The root cause is the water coming in your building, in your house. And that is, you go nicely, turn it off, and then you repair the pipe, and then you turn it on again. That's the root cause. The same, the root cause of this is these guys trying to expand into Russia. They have to overpower, they have to leave a Lebensraum, living space. That's what it is. And Russia is in the way. So again, the Europeans know this. They just pretend they don't know. They don't even care about it. And Russia will not give up those territories whatsoever unless Russia loses. And how can you lose when you have nuclear weapons? I tell you, when you have the guys in charge of that particular country being your boys. And then they will do whatever you want, like in Yeltsin time. Next one. Let's see how many countries are willing to send their troops into Ukraine to fight the Ruskies. Russia Today. Only 6 Western states willing to deploy troops to Ukraine. Agence France Presse. Kiev's backers remain split on proposed reassurance force that could potentially be deployed to Ukraine. Remember, 2.5 years ago, I said that when these guys are going to try to deploy some peacekeeping missions in Ukraine and have instituted a no-flight zone over Ukraine that is actively hitting Russian airplanes and missiles from Poland and Romania. For instance, when they said about the peacekeeping troops, I said they will use a euphemism, referring to the peacekeeping troops as love-making troops, perfect, beautiful troops, something like that. Now they came with reassurance force. They reassure Zelensky that he's going to be A-OK. All right, let's move and read this further. Only 6 countries. All right, can we find out the countries? Yes, right here. Thus far, United Kingdom, France, and Baltic states. Now, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania's population, total population of these 3 countries with big mouths but no balls, it's 6.1 million people, a village. But they are ready to send their troops to fight the Russians. And I think Poland said no. So that is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's the 6th one? I'm looking for the 6th one. Hello? Dutch? No, they're not going to do it. Other coalition members, however, have publicly expressed concern about the potential mission. I don't see any other country, but I said 6. Swedish defense minister, a number of questions we need to answer. There's no 6 one. Which one? Which one is that one? Right here. Those far only 6 nations, including 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 6th state in group was not named. Was not named. The 6th one is like, I'm with you, but like the Russians don't know it. At one point you have to say, it's me. These are cowards, man. These are cowards. And they want to fight the Russians. All right. Oh, man. Okay, let's see what the Americans, the Brits, want to do. Ukrainska Pravda. United Kingdom reportedly considers deploying its troops to Ukraine for 5 years. Now, I look only at the back of these guys. With these guys, I don't think they will be able to do squat over there. But hey, and with these guys, and this little bun over there, That's good. That's gonna scare the shit out of the Russians. The United Kingdom is considering deploying its troops to Ukraine for 5 years, according to the plans currently being discussed by allies. Their allies. The UK military leadership thus wants to help train and recover the Ukrainian army to prevent a new Russian invasion. Reassurance troop, man. Reassurance, man. That's what it is. French military planners are convinced that Kremlin leader Vladimir Putin is unlikely to authorize another attack against Western forces inside Ukraine when his troops are only able to capture small areas. What? So, France said that the Russians, Putin is unlikely to authorize another attack against Western forces inside Ukraine? Where they have missiles, they have atomic nuclear weapons. Unused, they got about 7,400 of them. They will come in your Élysée palace and get you up and send you into the dirty river Seine. That's what he's gonna do. All right, let's move to the next one, which is the same thing as the previous article. New Voice of Ukraine. United Kingdom eyes 5-year troop missions in Ukraine. Why 5-year? And these are just a train. You see how they train them? Oh, they're the big trainers right here. Right there. Big trainers. Oh, look at them. Oh, what are they doing? Oh, I don't feel well, man. I had diarrhea today. I ate some, I don't know, tamales or whatever. London is considering a 5-year. Why not 6? Why not 4? Deployment of troops to Ukraine to help train and reconstitute the Ukrainian army and deter Russian dictator Putin from mounting another invasion. All right, my friends. These guys are baboons. And let me tell you something that I said before, and Lavrov confirms. Right there. France and Britain prepare foreign intervention into Ukraine. That's not reassurance, baboonsteins, and all that. Here you have it. The little Facron. Hey, where is Mr. Brigitte? All right. Moscow, London and Paris discussions on sending deterrent forces to Ukraine are preparations for foreign intervention. I'm sorry, this is not Lavrov, this is Polishchuk. Polish and Chuk. Chuk is Ukrainian, Polish is Polish. So this is a Polish Ukrainian guy. Director of Second CIS Department of Russian Foreign Ministry told Sputnik, and I'm quoting, the issue of peacekeeping is not on the agenda now. According to world practice, the main condition for deploying peacekeepers is achieving a peaceful settlement or a sustainable ceasefire. Polish Chuk emphasized that Kiev is sabotaging the negotiations on the formation of the so-called deterrent forces, reassurance forces, which are currently being conducted by the Coalition of the Willing, 6, one unnamed. Led by France and Britain, are in fact preparation for foreign intervention. I agree with that 100%. So we got the same thing. These guys want to send deterrent and all that. You know what's interesting? Why should the Baltic states give their sons, daughters, mothers, fathers, or so on, give them to under the command of a foreign country to fight someone else's wars in a foreign country? So the 4, not the French and the Brits, the 4 will be at, celebrating, I'm gonna leave it. 4 will be under the command of these guys. Why? Why not these guys be under the command of, let's say, Estonia? 1.2 million people or something. Why not? Well, I disagree with that. But hey, since this is a fight between vassals. The British vassal with the French vassal a little bit better off than the Baltic vassals and the unnamed vassal, which I think it's the Poles. But the Poles know once they step in, and the Baltics know. Once they step in, the Russians are just waiting. It's like this, ready, and it's like this is the Russian hand. When that is gonna happen, it's gonna be like bang, just straight in. All right, let's go to the last part of this video, which is something I told you. I have no doubt that even more happened. Troops will operate, foreign troops operate, NATO troops operated, I'd say HIMARS, operated Patriot systems, operate Abrams tanks operate Leopard tanks, Leopard 2 tanks, Germans, Challenger tanks, the British, they operate probably the F-16s, and I'm assuming that much more. We already know that their generals planned all this operation, telling the Ukrainians where to go. Oh, okay, now we're going to go in that building, but it's dark over there. That's the Ukrainian. No, you got to go. You got. Okay, go over there, and then it's planned. We planned it right here in the West, and you just do it. I mean, for your freedom. I mean, and the guy goes over there and boom, 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 never comes back. We plan. It's okay. More Ukrainians. Hey, you know what? In the meantime, drop that conscription age to 18. Maybe you can do that. More Ukrainians. Ha ha! And after we're done, we get the Romanian baboons, the Polish baboons, and the Baltic baboons. After that's done, and this guy is coming closer to us, you know what we do? We say, hey, why don't we just talk peace now? Why didn't we talk, man? Come on, Ivan, Putin, let's talk, Vladimir. But in the meantime, you're going to have a lot of countries up. Here, new voice of Ukraine. United Kingdom secretly sent military instructors, now they're instructors, tomorrow they will be operatives, to train Ukrainian forces on British weapons. Do you think so? I think that they went all the way. The UK has secretly sent military instructors to Ukraine to train forces on British weapons. I told you this many times before. You know why? The Americans sent instructors to South Korea. They sent instructors to South Vietnam, or how you want to call it. They sent this before, and they denied it. And they were actively, pam, 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 hoorah, let's go. We found out years after that. You have to read. It's just history repeating. That's what it is. Different baboons, different places, different times. But the thing is the same. I don't have to go to give you more information on this one. Britain sent several dozen regular military personnel. I told you, regular personnel to Kiev to train Ukraine defense forces in the US anti-tank missiles, which London provided at the start of the full scale. They were already there, a lot of them. You know why they say this right now? Because they want you to be okay with this, right? With this. They want you to be okay with this. They just prepare you to accept, well, we did it before, secretly. Now we're just going to deter the Russians. The reassurance forces, right? Again, in early 2023, Britain became the first Western country to supply Ukraine with long-range pop. All right, my friends. I don't think we're going to find more. And believe me, you can think as wildly as you want. That is going to be true. If you think these guys did not use chemical weapons, you can think that way. You're going to find out. If you think that the Ukrainians did not commit any war crimes, you're going to find out. If you think the Russians did not commit, again, wait, you're going to find out. Everything that happened in any other war in the past happened in this one. I guarantee you. Again, unless this war was fought only by robots, they were programmed not to do certain things. If it's done by the humans will act. Not under the orders necessarily, but under their feelings, the circumstances. Don't we say, well, if that things happen, I'm going to be first over there and help. When that things happen, you're no way to found. Have that ever happened to you when you were supposed to, when you're at home, with the coffee and with your cigar and yeah, man, I would go if this guy, and then what happens? You're like, well, I guess not. It happened to me. And that's how you grow. That's how you understand your limitations. You understand how weasel you can be at times, and then shut the fuck up the next time when you're, yeah, man, I will do it. Goes without saying. And you think, maybe I should not talk until that happens. When that happens, then I'll see how brave I am. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.